Death Aura Ladder Edition. He is the red Protoss player from Germany. Representing Archangel EU, it's Spatz, previously known as Spatz.
And his opponent in the top left-hand side in the blue, representing Starcom Gaming, it is Cass. Now, Grant, I don't want to be insensitive, but I am really curious. I know that Spatz changed his name because his, at least for this tournament and possibly going forward, because I believe his previous name was Offensive, notably in British English, correct? Because in American English, we use it as just like if someone has a lot of energy and they're just kind of all over the place. That's the word we would say. But in Britain, I believe it was actually a slur for a handicap. Okay. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to confirm in case anybody's curious as to why, if they're like, who is this Spatz character?
It's pretty 90s, maybe early 2000s. Like, it wasn't a common slur used anymore. But yeah, it was. I was always surprised when I saw it. I believe Spatz means like sparrow.
I never confirmed if that was true, but let me Google Translate it really quick. I know Spatz means lots of sparrows, but it may be spelled differently, and all the Germans in the chat 2 minutes from now, Grant, are going to lose their
They're going to rip us
minds.
apart. I'm asking my German friend now.
I can't wait. I'm asking Google Translate, who's my German friend. Spatz does mean sparrow, so we're going to go with that, Grant.
Apparently it means darling.
Oh, it also means darling? Because Google Translate says it's just straight up sparrow.
Oh, that's a good... If it does mean... I'll ask him after this.
I think it's good. I think that does make sense, because I could see like an old married couple in Germany in the 1700s be like, oh, my little Spatz, and...
hello, my Spatz.
Yeah, right? And it'd be like, oh, my little sparrow. Exactly. I can see it. Anyway, enough about weird German translations. Let's hop into the game, Grant. What have you been seeing so far?
Oh, I haven't been watching. So far, everything is very standard from what I can see. 1-1-1 loaded up at the other side of the field, both players expanding at the normal time. Was there a Reaper? Yes, there was, and he is heading across the map right now. We do have an Adept here just to defend as well, and he's going to do just that. Shade probably going to be... Oh, it did go through. Okay, so the Reaper's going to jump up, but it has been blocked. Yep, you can shoot that Cybernetics core all day, mate. You're not really going to get much done. He blows himself down with a Reaper grenade.
That's so cute. That's cute. That's so cute. It gets a couple shots up, but does not see that Twilight Council, which was placed down specifically as soon as the Reaper left. Yep. That doesn't mean he can't hop back up and check again, and he might do exactly that. Oh, he's going to try and get in the main. It's so funny. I believe, and I'm not sure if this is exactly... Cute. He's going to make it. He's going to make it.
Yeah, he sees it. It is probably just for a standard blink opening. At the other side of the map, Creighton, the Adept ran in, and it was just about to pick off the SCV that was building the command center. The command center finished, and the SCV hopped in and hid inside the command center. There we go. That is going to be blink. Very standard opening here from Spatz. It is just one gate blink for now. With the natural, he should add on 2 more gateways very shortly to go up to 3 gate. I don't think he'll be very, very aggressive with this. It's not phenomenal on this map. It's not bad. There's a lot of surface area to blink into the main.
Right.
But I feel like Spatz and Cass are going to play this game out pretty macro orientated.
I think so. These are, as we said, these two players, even though they're at the bottom of the bracket and they've both been mathematically eliminated from this round-robin group stage, I think they're two players who are probably fairly even in skill so far. But between the two of us, Grant, I think we've cast a majority of their games. And both of them have like flashes of brilliance, good games.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I know Papa Cass is one of your favorites, and I don't want to speak ill of him. But I think both these players, or I don't want to diminish his accomplishments, but I think both these players very evenly matched. And I'm really jazzed to see what they go for here. As the Robo finishes up in Spatz's base, Warp Prism out first in this build, Grant?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Observer. Is he still only sitting on 3 gateways? 2 with a 3rd one. Yeah. It could go either or. Yeah, it's going to be Observer. And then he'll go into a Prism after that. He's going to try and get a bit of map presence as soon as that comes out. But first he needs to deal with this drop here from Papa Cass. And Cass has 3 Hellions locked and loaded up, and they're now going to boost on over towards the main. There are 5 Stalkers currently in the main, which is enough to hold this back. A Robo Bay goes down, creating a little bit of a tunnel as well, blocking this off a little bit. So prepared here is our Protoss player. He may lose a couple of workers, but it's going to be... 4? Okay.
Actually, really nicely timed shots here from Cass. Good focus fire for 7 probe kills. Before that last Hellion goes down. Oh, he's trying to disengage. Oh, I thought he was going to lose 2 more there. 7 is not too bad for only 3 Stalkers. That medevac. Oh, Cass, a bit of a mistake leaving that medevac just parked outside the main base. A bit of a mistake from Cass there. But I do want to point out Spatz's pylon placement here is actually flawless. He can just see almost every square inch. There's not quite space for anything to unload into his main there. Really nicely done. And the Robo Bay finishing up now for him. Disruptors or Colossus, Grant?
Colossus, I would say. He's probably going to go... He's got a third base. I'd expect to see extended Thermal Lance in not too much time. And Colossus production beginning. For now, he's playing very safe. Has he picked up any Forges yet? Nope. So I think we'll see a Forge go down soon. Spatz will power up to 7-8 gateways. He's playing this out as slow, as steady, and as standard as a Protoss player can. He's playing very Showtime-esque, and that he's really not pressured at all. As I say that, it's an Observer flying into the main. It has been seen.
Yep.
Cass, you good boy.
I tell you what, these Eastern European Terran players are so good at seeing Observers and Dark Templars. I don't know how they do it. Like Braddock, Cass, anybody from Eastern Europe that plays Terrans has just like a third eye for these things. I can't think of a player that I'm always impressed by how good they are at spotting those Observers, especially when I never see them.
No, never. I haven't even got glasses on, so I can't see them when they're not invisible. Now, Spatz finally moving out just to try and slow down the third base from landing of our Terran. He is probably going to try. He hasn't made a third yet. Okay. I've not missed something, have I?
No, no third at all. Cass just sitting here on 2 bases, 48 workers. He's cut his SCV production and is just looking like he might push out on 1-1-1. Yeah. Or 1-1 rather, once Combat Shield finishes. He has not seen these Stalkers yet, though, and that means that Spatz is going to see this move-out timing and should be able to snipe and blink over and over again to slow this down and buy himself some more time.
He lost 2 Stalkers straight away, and that's not good, because this army now of 7 Stalkers needs to slow this push down. We'll see an Observer as well. It's going to keep an eye on things, and this is what he wants to be doing, but with being 2 Stalkers less is really unoptimal here, because he probably, with 2 more Stalkers, would have killed the tank there. Now, the plan of this push is to go and siege up just outside of the third, but we can see there's already 1 Colossus. Second one will be out. Extended Thermal Lance is a Chrono going into it. No, but there is a drop in the main.
That drop in the main doing so much damage here is going to force the recall. All those Stalkers going back for no reason for Spatz. Cass going to get... Oh, no, he's going to get out of here. Spatz disengaging maybe a little too soon here, and Cass now pushing in to that third base. As you said, both Colossus are out. Extended Thermal Lance still seconds away from being finished. I don't know if Cass has enough here to really push on. Where is the rest of his army? Oh, it's all of these medevacs coming across now. I thought there was a very small army for 81 army supply. But he's got 3 medevacs fully units just waiting to go back into the main base. Observer here will see them, but will Spatz rotate in time? Yeah.
Yeah, Spatz was doing a good job of defending so far, and he's doing a good job of not throwing away any units. But that being said, he's lost 16 workers, and that is a bit problematic. I wouldn't say it's more him making mistakes, as Cass has been very good at the pressure and finding these openings, but now it's going to get trickier, because Zealot Legs is done, meaning that these engagements are much safer for our Protoss to take. +1 is done for our Terran, +1 armor on the way for our Protoss, who also has extended Thermal Lance, and we do have a fight going down.
Oh my gosh, and a terrible fight for Cass as well. Starting out very nice. He actually started on that on the ramp where he was forced up through a choke point, and the charge launch wouldn't have been able to get much surface area. But then he retreated a little bit, I think, out of habit, and now he's trying to flank Spatz here. Actually, he is going to grab a hold of this flank, actually paying off hugely for him. Wow.
Yeah, a couple of medevacs managing to come from behind and unload, kill both of the Colossus, and that's a huge win right now from Cass. And if I'm Cass, I'm thinking, okay, this is good. I've killed workers, I've just killed the Colossus, and reset that count. There are now no Colossus on the map. He just has to get something to deal with, you know, the big chunk of Zealots and Stalkers. And he is adding on a Liberator, more Marines, more Marauders, more racks, really starting to power up. Cass will feel safe right now to just go, but he needs to keep upgrades going. Has he got an armory? No.
Yeah, he's just on that +1 now, but of course the Forge only just starting for Spatz. His first Forge just going down, or second Forge rather, just going down now. So his +1 armor is being worked on right now. It's not showing up in my production tab for some reason because he's just canceled it. Whoa, that's what, oh, it finished. Sorry, not canceled.
Okay.
Finishes just in time as the attack comes in. I didn't think it was that close to being done, but there's a big attack in the third as well, Grant.
Yeah, this is a lot of workers that are going to go down once again. And the third itself is at risk. It's going to force a recall. Okay, so this is good once again from Cass. Lots of lost mining time. Forces that recall. Widowmines come in and pick up a couple of units. Nothing substantial. We do have a Zealot run by queued up, though, towards Cass's third, and there's nothing here.
Nothing here. All the units in medevacs across the map right now. He's going to be relying on this Liberator and maybe some reinforced units he's left back home. But 5 SCVs going down right away. Luckily, the bio units will find a nice spot behind the minerals, and this should be cleaned up eventually. But it's going to be really annoying for Cass to deal with. He's going to bring those drops back home to deal with it. Goodness gracious.
And behind this, Spatz actually has 75 workers. He's beginning double disruptor production. He's now getting double upgrades. Spatz is doing a good job of buying himself enough time to really get into this and get things going. Cuss took a lead for a while, but he's been caught off guard now by all of this pressure, and he's not able to capitalize on his lead. And against a Protoss player, it's really important that you do capitalize when you pick up a lead, because Chrono Boost is really bloody good, and can catch anyone up from any position.
Absolutely. You know, I was about to say, just as I was looking over the main base of Cass, I was about to say there are a lot of idle SCVs right now. He had about maybe 7 or 8 SCVs just parked around his base after building some supply depots or a barrack or something. Not doing anything for a while. And, you know, usually when I watch that in my Silver League games, that's a mark of a player who's just, you know, not maybe up on their micro, or their macro rather, and making some beginner mistakes. But Cass is not a beginner. And when I see a bunch of SCVs sitting around his base like that, it's got to tell me that he's feeling a little pressured, a little frustrated, and at least is being pushed to the very edges of his game this time if you're making little mistakes like that. Those are the little mistakes that really make a big difference in StarCraft 2.
Yeah, and when you play against a player who's caught off guard and their cycles get broken, because StarCraft, the way these top players macro is in cycles, and if you break this cycle by sending zealots into 2 places at once, for example, as Spatz did, it can be difficult to get back into it, to go, okay, I now need to do this, to get back into my regular cycles. It's slightly more important here for Zerg, but Terrans as well. They usually queue up a couple of units, and then they work with the army that they have, and then they bring their they'll rally those reinforcements to somewhere in the neutral or third base, and then move on to their next cycle. And it's right now for Cass, he has been caught a little bit off guard, as we said, and he's starting to fall a bit behind. His upgrades are not great. He's got 2-2 started. He will be an upgrade down soon, and there are so many disruptors. There's 6 disruptors.
Well, there's 5 now, 1 just going down, but yeah, it's an awful lot. We see a big stim coming out of Cass, though. Disruptor Ball's going for Purification Novas are going to be dodged, though. Those are great dodges from Cass to start this fight out. Colossus getting focus fired down, and now there's too many Vikings on the field, and a lot of stuff that shoots down Vikings. Yeah. Cass really taking a bad fight there, and his army composition is not what he wanted in that engagement.
No, he's so Marauder heavy. He currently only has 6 Marines, and 5 of those just finished. So I'll let you do the math on how many he has to deal with everything here. The Vikings at this point are getting to the point where if Cuss is in trouble, he's going to have to land them. This is planetary and it can be repaired. So I don't expect this base to go down yet. Spatz knows he can't break this right now. But Cuss really needs to get his reinforcements going. 2-2's getting closer to finishing though. Cuss is still at 80 workers plus mules, so his economy is great. Both players have so much money coming in right now. And we're getting to one of those things. Oh, EMP? Oh, yeah, there it is. Dodge, dodge, dodge.
Yeah, everything looking good here. Cass dodging those Purification Novas. The Disruptor's just not getting the damage they really need. I really was hoping that Spatz would press into this 4th base and try and break the Planetary. I think it's an easy way to catch a lazy Terran player by surprise. If you get in on the Planetary, blink on top of it, of course, they're going to pull for the mass repair, and then send the Purification Nova balls around. It's not quite going to work, though. He's going to get a couple more shots off as he... Oh my god, the mass repair from Cass is so close! It's so close! He's going to save the Planetary. I don't believe it, Grant. I don't believe it.
That was a huge moment in this game as well, because so much army was thrown at that base. All of the zealots going down. There's now only 10 left on the field. And with all of these ghosts, with all of these Marines, Marauders, and the medevac count being so high, Cass is going to counter-attack, I'm almost certain. That's what he should be doing. That was huge. That base was down to like 10 hit points probably. Like 50 max. It was just 1 more zealot, 1 more unit, a couple more stalkers probably would have killed it. A few probes going down, and Cass is looking for a fight. Disruptor was so big!
There it is. God damn, I love disruptors so much. 10 bad disruptor balls and it's not a big deal, but then 1 good one off the back end. If you miss it, it's one of those skill checks in the game that you simply can't miss. This is going to put Spatz in a really solid position yet again. Going to force a liftoff from Cass, but he's going to focus fire down those medevacs. A lot of medevacs going down. A good counter win there from Spatz, catching Cass completely by surprise.
Yeah, it's so hard when there are so many disruptors coming from so many different angles to keep track of it all and dodge all of those shots. And it just took 1 taking down a huge chunk of army to really turn the tides of the game once again in favor of our Protoss player. And now he's moving in to this base, which is not a planetary. Purification Nova comes out. It is dodge okay. Second one comes out. That one is dodge. There are Liberators here, which make this much more difficult to engage into. Oh my god, there's buildings blowing up as well. And right now, Spatz is pushing in. He's looking for more damage. But Cuss can hold for now, losing just 10 workers. But take a look at the planetary. Oh, he's not getting it again.
He did get a kill on that 5th base, though, that Cass was trying to build behind it. So, well, he didn't get the planetary. He did get another nice base. Oh my God, these circle balls are getting better and better as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Cass is splitting is losing its luster just a little bit, but he is on 2-2 bio, which is still really scary, man. The problem is that he's lost 12 workers behind this. The Zealot run bys into the 3rd base mineral line, the attack into the planetary, forcing a lot of these SCVs to waste money repairing and not mining. He's down to 68 workers, Spatz up on 82. And Spatz now on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases, where Cass is just building number 5 now. Repairing
right now we can see our Protoss player is moving in. He's looking for a fight. The purification never goes out. It won't get anything, but there's so many workers up here to the north that are vulnerable. One Stalker going to stick behind as the Zealots chase this down now. And he's looking for more blood. He wants to kill every one of his units, and he has the Stalker count to do so. Oh, more Zealots wrapping around as well. That is so gross. We should see a blink forward to try and get a couple of these medevacs. No, he gets it anyway. And behind this, as we can see, the base is being... Oh, no. Okay, it finished.
That planetary fortress holds, but for how long, Grant? The army supply now firmly in favor of our Protoss player Spatz. Cass running scared now, where he once had advantage. That I feel like that one disruptor shot was the
it was a turning point.
The turning point is a great word for it. I was trying to think of fulcrum was the word I was thinking of, but turning point is a much better word. Completely changing the outcome of this game, and we're going to see this planetary number 5 going down, and Spatz still about 40-50 army supply ahead of his opponent. He has enough disruptors now that he can almost constantly purification nova, which means Cass can never truly engage, and this is really a frustrating spot for a Terran player to be in with no Liberators on the map.
Yeah, it's pretty terrifying right now. Our Terran player needs something to happen. There are now DTs coming in. Shadow Strider is about to finish as well, meaning our Protoss can blink on top of some of these planetaries and things. And just look at the concave our Protoss has built up. He flanks from the back with a couple of Stalkers, does lose a Disruptor or 2 in this, but now there's no medevacs, now there's no nothing. No hope for our Terran player, unfortunately. Purification Novas come in to style on the end of the game, and GG is called.
He flanked from the left. He flanks from the right. Just look at the kid get into the fight. Oh, so good. So good there from Spatz. Taking game 1. Man. StarCraft is a game of skill checks. Some are micro. Some are macro. Some of them are split-second skill checks. Some of them happen over the course of a game and require focus and concentration. That game, Cass missing 1 critical, crucial skill check, and his fortune turning on its head.
Yeah, it just takes that one moment. Cuss did so well to save his planetary. In terms of workers lost, they were both bang even at that stage as well, 24-25 in favor of Cuss. It was so close, and yeah, it just takes 1 or 2 disruptor shots. Yep, they are just playing for money. I will let you know. 125 bucks.
Yeah, $125, not bad at all for a best of 3 series. And this is not special to this game, of course, but yeah, I was in response to chat. I gotcha. $125, not special to this match. Every match in the EU is $125 on the line, and that's one good way that this tournament has helped keep this group stage competitive and helped keep the players interested in these matches, even if, like for Cash and Spatz, there's no other reason for them to play. Still some good incentive to get them into games. Well, here we go with game number 2. Spatz currently leading 1-0. Grant, who's our first player today?
Right, and also our first player in the bottom left-hand side, representing Archangel Gaming. Here's the blue Protoss player from Germany. It's Spatz.
And his opponent in the top right-hand side in the red, representing Starcom Gaming. And the Ukraine, it is Cass. I got a question for you, Grant.
I have an answer.
Spatz's team is called what?
Archangel Gaming, right?
Okay. I wonder if that's another. Is that another British English, American English thing? Because I always call them Archangel with a hard K sound.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
There's no K in it. It's Arch.
It's a British English thing then, because Archangel is definitely American
that does
English.
Make sense. They're a Russian team, right?
No, I think they're American.
Oh bugger. Well, then you're definitely right.
Kilo owns them.
Oh yeah, it is Kilo. You're right.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Well, no, I mean, it's correct in whatever language. I'm sure the French cast is not like Archangel Gaming. Like they're not saying that, right? So I'm sure. Yeah. Oh my god, I bet the French cast is sexy as hell to listen to. Grant, have you ever listened to a StarCraft cast in another language?
Yeah.
Who do you listen to?
Yeah, cool. OGTV a lot of the time. And then there's like a home story cup. They always do it on site, and they have like their own room. And I just get really drunk and go in there. And there's a video on the internet. I don't know if anyone in chat or you remembers this, Creighton, but they did a rap song for home story cup, the Mexican one, which would have been 19 or 18.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch that video, there's just one very, very drunk Grant in the front, like pretending he knows what's going on. I was wasted. I put cowboy hats on them, or like sombreros. West sombreros.
Right.
It's a mess. Go back and watch that video of Funker and I think it was Coca, or TKR, one of the two, rapping at Home Story Cup, and you just see me minging in a dinosaur jumper, making them wear hats.
Man, I have got to make it a priority when next Home Story Cup that is live. I want to get out there so badly. I don't know if I told you, I was in Germany the week before the last Home Story Cup.
I remember.
And I couldn't believe it. I asked if I could go, and they were like, "You can try and get a hotel roommate, but it's booked up."
Yeah, that was the tropical.
Yeah.
I missed that one too because I got real sick.
Yes, that's
my
true.
body decided to hate.
You may or may not have had a life-threatening illness. Yeah. I like that probe from Spatz, by the way, hanging out behind the natural for Cass for a little while to get the extra scout off and try and maybe slow down the command center. A cute play, but ultimately not panning out for him. He's opening Twilight Council again here, Grant. I love Twilight Council. Do you think he's going to go Glaives again?
If you mean Blink, then yes, I definitely do think he's going to go Blink again.
Blink again, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it's just the most solid. It's the most standard opening here. Spatz has been making it work. He seems to play pretty defensive with it as it does start up. And then going towards like a Stalker Colossus stage of the game with lots of charge zealots on 3 or 4 bases. That seems to be Spatz's style. He doesn't play like Phoenix Colossus or anything. But Cass is mixing it up, and he is adding on Cloak and Attack Lab and going for Cloak Banshees.
Which is not great right now. Blink Stalkers, Robo already on the way. Now this first Banshee should hit well before the Observer's out. It may get a bit of damage done if he sends it right across the map, and he does have it queued right across the map. But the Observer, of course, the build time for the Observer is like 2 seconds, and they pop out so fast. I think once the Observer's out, Cass isn't getting anything done with this, and he's making tanks and Marines behind this. Looks like he might be going for bio with just, straight up bio tank. But seeing an investment in, especially an investment in Cloak and the Banshee, always heartbreaking to see when there's already a counter on the other side of the map.
Yeah, the best thing about Cloak Banshees is if you can keep them alive, and it's very difficult against Blink play, then they serve so much throughout the game. The probes never get stronger. 2 Banshees, 1 shot a probe, even under a battery. So you'll see he is building 2, and will probably stop at 2. And then the entire purpose of this is, sure, maybe you don't get the kills at the 5-minute mark, but maybe at the 7-minute mark you pick up 5, maybe at the 8 or 9-minute mark you pick up 4 more, and then you start getting to the point where you picked up 14, 15, and all of a sudden things look pretty good, but he cannot lose them. This is a good start.
It is a good start,
Forcing the pull, he's going to get a lot, actually.
Yeah, 5 kills here already, moves up into the main. Of course, the Observer should spot him soon. Oh, second Observer on the way out now. Second Observer now coming back, but man, 6 kills already, and the Hellions and Reap behind is just distracting these Stalkers just a little bit longer, so the Banshee can pick up 1 more kill.
Yeah, now the most important thing for this Banshee is it does not die. It needs to stay alive. Cass has actually done a little bit of the old switcheroo and turn direction when his opponent wasn't predicting it, and now he's going to get down into the main, and he's going to find a couple more, definitely, but he is out of energy. It's going to go down. He's going to sack it. Okay. It's worth it at this stage.
Yeah, he'll lose both of them here, even losing one of his naturals was cloaked. Not too bad, but yeah, 12 total probe kills for 2 Banshees ain't bad at all, Grant, and that's a decent damage to start things off. Cass slightly ahead in workers, but no 3rd base for Cass yet, just working on barracks 2 and 3, getting up to that bio play.
Yeah, things are looking pretty good. We do have the robotics bay down for our Protoss, who's going to throw down a 3rd as I am talking. Bish, bash, bosh. He's getting Zealot legs. He's getting to where he wants to be here. The worker count is still pretty good for both players. Cass did damage, but Cass isn't the kind of player who does a bit of damage and then goes, right, get on my army, parade push, and A move. He likes to play it out and look for one very convincing fight. He should be getting his 3rd as well relatively soon. He seems to get it so late compared to other players. There we go. Yeah. Throwing that down at 620. And I just feel like if the game goes long again, Spatz did play better in the mid to late game, and Cass is going to have to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, I was really hoping Spatz was posturing as though he wanted to move up into the main base of Cass. There is a little bit of dead space there that you can see. Sneak some stalkers in. The tank's out of position. He does have the observer for high ground vision, but right now it looks like this is just for a minor contain to slow down that third base. And the observer's got to be careful. He sees that Raven now and should know. Uh-oh, there's a Raven out. The observer's got to be babysat for the next 5-10 minutes to make sure it doesn't die. Oh, he's moving it very aggressively yet. Oh, that's a little surprising. But yeah, third base down very early for Spatz. He's got the Forge already about to finish up. His upgrades should be not on top of, but a little bit behind Cass.
Yeah, extended thermal lance on the way as well now for a Protoss player. That's really the key upgrade at this stage in the game. Once that comes in, he doesn't have to worry too much about the pressure from our Terran. Cass is sending out the little Raven for some damage. I love it. Yes, Papa Cass.
He was clearly watching our first game with Thermal and Ziggy.
Yeah, for sure. Was it you, Thermal and Ziggy? No, it's Hero Marine.
Hero Marine. Sorry, Gabe. It's your birthday. You don't need any more recognition than you already have.
How does it work when you think, "Oh, shorty, it's your birthday," and Gabe is so big?
Gabe is not a shorty.
No, so you have to think, "Oh, Gaby, it's your birthday. Gonna party like it's your birthday. Gonna drink Bacardi like these probes are dying." This has been cleaned up. Of course, only energy here for a couple of kills. As I completely go off topic and start singing. Cass now starting to push out a bit. He needs to break this contain so his third can land. And that is what he is looking to do. His third is already an orbital. It is going to be trying to take off very soon. There we go. Observer, oh, nice spot there from Cass. He's so good at it, as you said in game one. And right now he will be able to push back his opponent. But behind this, his opponent is getting his second Colossus. He's already got an Immortal. He's adding on more gates. Templar Archives, getting his armor upgrades for those Zealots. And things are looking good for Spatz once again.
Yeah, they really are. I'm a little surprised to see both players just on one upgrade facility right now. We got the one engineering bay down for Cass and the one forge down for Spatz. It's been such a passive game. I mean, look at the units lost tab. About under 1,000 units lost, or under 1,000 resources lost total for each player. We're already 9 minutes into the game. I really would expect these players to be executing their build orders a little more greedily at this point. I mean, I understand, you're up against a very difficult opponent. Spatz has been posturing for forcing a lot of units out of Cass. Yeah. But I definitely thought Cass would be at working on 2-2 right now. Still no armory.
Yeah, it's what you get when you have the immovable force versus the unbreakable object or something like that.
Unstoppable, yes.
Both. I was so close. Both of these players have played very defensively throughout this tournament. And it's really just a case of they get to about 180 supply, they fight in the middle, one player gets ahead, they usually win the game. Spoiler alert, that's probably what's going to happen here, but Cass has got a lot of army supply. His upgrades are okay, and he's moving out right now. Evil upgrades. Oh, he doesn't want to lose the Raven. It's such a big unit. It lives. Oh, the Dorito cannon coming down. These tanks are going to shred through the Stalkers once they start firing. There's a lot of bio left safe here, and actually Cass finds a great angle and a great fight. Oh, he's not going to commit too hard, though.
Smart from Cass. He's doing damage in the natural behind this double Widowmine drop. Got 12 probe kills while that fight was going on. So double damage being done for Cass there. He softened up the army of Spatz a little bit, took a fairly even trade. But as we've seen so many times in this tournament, Grant, the main fight happening with the two big armies is not the headline story. What actually is important is which player can slip in economic damage behind that. And Cass that time really slipping in that economic damage and slowing Spatz down a little bit. Look at the income graph. We can see that things are going to spike back in favor of Cass again. He was in danger of being behind in the income for this game, but now it seems like he's taken a strong position now. And with 120 army supply and 23 more workers than his opponent, this push could be really dangerous. More probes going down to more Widowmines, by the way.
Yeah, Cass dropped Widowmines in the main and Knack everything going on. His tank is currently untouched, but the Archons are doing a great job. Once these Archons go down, expect to see the Terran player surge forward. 1, 2, 3 will fall, the Vikings land, and now, as I said, the Terran will change direction and look for more anger, more aggression here. He's up 48 army supply. Cass, can he do it though? Can he close? Can he beast? Hey, always B, closing. Go!
Did you watch that? I didn't send it to you again.
Did I watch it?
Come on, Grant.
Did I watch it? I'm gonna watch Hamilton later. I'm really excited. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either. I had a friend once who was in love with the soundtrack, and I didn't love the soundtrack because it's not usually my jam, but it does seem interesting. I'll have to find a friend who has whatever nonsense streaming service it's on and see it for sure.
Disney Plus.
Thank you. I do want to see it. Widowmine will get cleaned up in the natural there, but yeah, as we said earlier, Cass taking a really good fight there. Cass with great mechanics. I mean, we saw a lot of army supply disappearing in the blink of an eye there.
Yeah, Ghost added as well now. I think this is Cass's winning condition. If he can hit an EMP on top of some of these Archons. Okay, he went for snipes instead, actually. But Cass's army just looks too big. Super Battery comes in, but I think there's enough raw power here to take some of these units down. The Colossus will stand strong. It doesn't look like Cass has quite enough. Okay, but Super Battery now runs out. Cass, just bring everything. Everything. He still has so much at home.
Yeah, he really does. Being very cautious here, making sure he doesn't fall prey to any run-bys. I think Cass is in full win mode here, where he's like, okay, what can I possibly lose to? Let me make sure I can't possibly lose to anything else. And he knows that if he maintains this position, he's not going to lose to it. But if he does, bring everything across the map, he might have some crazy Zealot run-by or something. The last of the tanks gets cleaned up there. Again, he scans and picks up another Observer. That's so good from Cass. He should get pushed away here. Good defense from Spatz, but he's down to 18 army supply. And at this point, there's just not much left to live for. We're definitely going to see a game 3 here, Grant.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very difficult. Cass now sending out the rest of the units. This time he has enhanced shockwaves. He'll have 2-2 by the time he gets across the map, most likely. He has a 4th base, which is planetarying up, whereas our Protoss is stuck on 3 bases now for a good 6 minutes and 5 minutes. Things are looking tricky here for Spatz. Cass is playing a great game. He just needs that one big fight now.
Yeah, and big is certainly a good description for this fight. He's on 90 army supply to the 40 of his opponent. The upgrades fairly even here. We got 1-1 on both sides. Or no, pardon me, 1-1 on the side of Cass, and Spatz still just stuck on that +1 armor. Working on +2 armor, but I don't think it's going to be here in time. I love the Zealot run by the north side to cancel up that base, but it doesn't matter at this point. Those Zealots would rather be here with this army. The Liberator's sieging up, and Spatz gets Cass gets a great EMP down. Clutch.
Yeah. He's going to go down and find this one probe who was looking to eventually take the 4th. Cass, seeing that there's no 4th, he may think, okay, I can bleed my opponent out over a little bit longer time, which is technically true, but it's not as fun for me. Cass is going to retreat, knowing that he is a base ahead. He's going to siege up the Liberators, though, and turn around and take a bit of a fight here. Liberator's really a strong win condition right now for our Terran player, because although there are some Stalkers, you cannot blink into these Liberators. Maybe on the reverse here, he may go for 1. Blink. Boom. Doesn't manage to get the kill, but did take out a Marine.
Still no fusion core for Liberator range, and Spatz actually setting up, or Cass really setting up in an odd position there in the middle of the map. That's about the worst place for a Terran army who doesn't want to get surrounded to set up on this entire map is. I will say he lost a lot of his ghosts in those previous engagements. He's down to just 4 ghosts now, but really I don't think it matters. The natural drop in the natural that snipes the Colossus, and he's gonna. Oh, it's just 3 Marauders. That's badass, man. What a cool little hit squad. Cass doing everything right. 3-3 on the way. Cloak for the ghosts on the way. +2 vehicle weapons on the way, air weapons rather on the way for those Liberators and the Vikings, in case more Colossus come out. But there's only 1 left on the map, and Spatz simply doesn't have the income to support more.
Yeah, I mean, Cloak for the ghosts isn't something you see every day, but there is a fight going down in the natural, and it's already over. Cass has too much, and GG. We're going to game 3.
GG indeed in our first game 3 of the day, Grant. Very excited to see a game 3. As we said earlier, these 2 players, even though they're both mathematically eliminated from the bracket, very even in skill, and should be a lot of fun to see how they stack up against each other in map number 3. I do want to know what their map 3 is. Going to be Submarine LE on map number 3. A great map. I'm loving Submarine the more games I see on it, Grant.
Yeah, it's one of those maps that most people don't seem to mind playing, although it will be the first time we see it today across A and the B stream, which is interesting. So maybe it is slightly falling out of the rotation here. Submarine is cool. I do think it is very, very small. There's very few bases overall, albeit a standard map. It's not too difficult to be very aggressive. Cass needs to take a quick 1-minute break to drain the Papa Lizard. And then we'll be getting into the game very shortly, guys.
That's right. So we've got 1 minute. I'd say that's a perfect amount of time for you, everyone, to get up and stretch. You can see me doing my wrist stretches here on camera, trying to make sure I don't get carpal tunnel later. You can do the ladder stretch. Grant, did you see the ladder stretch that Tempo taught us?
No.
Oh man, I know you can't see me right now. You have to try and check the feed.
I've got the stream open.
In 2 minutes. But Tempo taught me how to do the ladder stretch, and here it is. It's amazing. All you do is you pretend like you're climbing the ladder, climbing that StarCraft ladder, except it's a real ladder. So you just reach up as high as you can with one hand and grab a hold of a rung of a ladder, feel like the stretch in your shoulders and your triceps and your biceps, and then you pull it down, and then you reach up with the other hand as high as you can, and you grab the next rung on the ladder, and you pull it down, and then you just keep climbing the ladder. And like, as long as you climb the ladder, you're getting a good stretch in, and it feels fantastic. Highly encourage you to try it at home.
I'm really scared of heights.
That's okay. You don't actually go anywhere, and don't worry. If you're climbing the StarCraft ladder, you don't go anywhere either. So it's very safe, Grant. Also, have you noticed our nicknames on the stream, Grant?
Yes, I did.
I set you up for a little fun today. I figured we've been doing this for 2 weeks now. We may as well enjoy our last 2 casts together. Today and tomorrow.
No.
The last 2 times we're going to
No, we're not together tomorrow.
What was that?
We're not together tomorrow.
Oh, we're not?
No.
Are you done today?
Streams. No, they're doing 4 streams tomorrow.
For the EU as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
probably.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this is our last day together. Oh, we were meant to suit up. I forgot. I'm not on webcam anyway. Yeah, this is our last one. Tomorrow, you're with Steadfast.
Got it. Oh, and you're with Penguin.
And I am with Penguin.
Oh, that'll be fun then. Well, I'm sad I won't be with you, Grant, but I'm glad that we both get to find a new partner and keep casting some dang StarCraft. Well, guys, we're into game number 3 here. Grant, why don't you introduce both of our players? I'm so sad I'm not going to cast with you tomorrow. I'll give you both of them. Who we got today?
In the bottom right, playing for Archangel EU. He is the blue German Protoss player. It's Spatz. And he's playing in the top left, representing Starcom. Can't say that one wrong. He is the red Terran player from Ukraine? Russia?
Yes, Ukraine.
Ukraine, I was right. I should have trusted myself. It's Cuss. I really want to eat some Pringles.
This stream's sponsored by...
No, I'm just hungry. That's all I've got to eat.
I'm reminded of the big fat quiz of the year a couple years ago when who was it? It was James Corden and Jack Whitehall were on a team.
Yes.
And they wore tuxedos, and they decided that they wanted to get sponsored. And they said, we thought if we mentioned some companies on stream, we could get sponsored by those companies. So they were like, we'd like to eat these Ferrero Rochers in our Ferrari. With a glass of some expensive wine or something, some Cristal wine or something, and they were like, we thought if we mention it, maybe they'll sponsor us, because everybody else was like eating. Everybody else was taking a snack break and eating crisps, and they were trying to get out with some more fancy stuff.
I'm pretty sure at this point James Corden is sponsored by money.
Something tells me Jack Whitehall's doing all right for himself too.
Yeah, he does movies and stuff.
Jeez. Natural down now for our Terran player. All of our non-UK listeners, like they probably know James Corden, but Jack Whitehall, they're like, wait, what? Who are you talking about?
Yeah, we're going pure England right now.
Definitely not famous anywhere else, I don't think. He tried in the States. He had some movie that was... Anyway, whatever. It's not important. It is going to be a Reaper opening, but look at that. Not a factory behind this, Grant. He's going straight reactor on that barrack.
And he's adding on his second racks as well. Creighton Cast is going to be a little bit aggressive, and the shorter map here on Submarine does really benefit this kind of aggression. Now, seeing that skipping a Marine, it is a little bit sketchy if an Adept comes across the map. And that is exactly what's going to happen, because he also has no bunker. So this first Adept is going to be very, very annoying, because there is nothing at home. Does he keep the Reaper at home? Yes, okay. This is okay, and we'll give enough time for the command center to finish, because you can Reaper grenade to displace the Adept. But we are going to need to see a couple of units pretty quick here in order to make sure that this Adept doesn't get any further damage done, because of course it does win the 1v1. Oh, he does get it!
Snipes it at the last second. That already injured SCV from the probe damage earlier, by the way, is why that SCV is at half health. And finally, he'll bring another one down, so he won't be slowed down too terribly much as the 2 Marines help drive away the Adept. But Spatz is really, oh my god, the Stalker's here as well. The Stalker going to take that fight, and he's going to get the Reaper. Oh man. This is a really interesting opening engagement from these 2 players.
And this is what happens when you don't make that first Marine. That first Marine is enough alongside the Reaper to chase away. Now the Stalker's going to walk up the ramp. It will take a lot of damage. This was very, very nice laying in wait here, because the Stalker's taken too much damage now to commit to the fight. But what has been shown is that it was a very quick add-on to the racks, a very quick reactor, excuse me. And that means Spatz is aware that something's a bit fishy.
Yeah, I think so. And seeing that number of Marines that early, there got to be some raised eyebrows in the Spatz camp right now saying, wait a minute, he had like 5 Marines out already. That seems excessive, even with that reactor. We see the Tech Lab is down now on both the factory and the barrack. He's going for combat shields before stim, which is so smart. I think this is one of the only builds where you go for combat shields before stim, because of course there are no medevacs. That means every stim just straight up kills your army instead of turning them into superheroes.
Oh, nice.
Nice, gets the adept as well. Behind this, Spatz opening up Blink Robo again. 3 games in a row. Grant, how do you feel about players who open with the same build all 3 games in the best of 3?
Well, what's the tech is the same. He's actually going for 4-gate blink instead, which is a much more offensive. You have that few more stalkers, it slows down your third, and I really like that because he knows something's up, and that's why he's added in that extra gate. It's a very parting-esque build to go 4-gate blink off of 2 bases, and it can be very, very scary. If you can blink on top of one of the tanks, you can start to snowball it into an advantage. We should be seeing some form of detection with the army. Yeah, there's an observer, so he can get and blink onto the high ground, and these builds will sort of, I imagine, cancel one another out.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. 2 really aggressive opening builds. Now, the Observer should get in and see this. Once Spatz sees it, Grant, what does he do? Does he blink into the main base and try and get on top of a tank? There are 3 tanks out now and a great tank spread from Cass. I'm really not sure where Spatz is going to do the most damage for the attacks. He's going into the natural.
Yeah, he's got to keep an eye out for things here. I do imagine he'll go up into the main and blink up just by this Reaper Cliff here. Possibly not, though. He is posturing a little bit. There's damage to be done at the very north-hand side of the Terran's main. For now, though, it is just going to be... He's going to go round to the very south of the natural as well. This is nice. Tank does manage to get a couple of shots, but workers are going to be forced off the line. This gas geyser will go down, and finding a bit of damage behind this. No third yet, though, from our Protoss player. Getting onto the 6 minutes. He's adding on more and more gateways, actually, and immortals. I think we're going to see some hyper-aggression here from our Protoss player.
A little bit of a 2-base throwback build. Now, the question for me is going to be, when is Spatz going to grab that? Or when is Cass going to grab that 3rd base? And how soon does he move it out to try and defend, I suppose? He's rebuilding that gas in the bottom. We saw the Observer get sniped in the main base earlier as well, so blinking into the main is no longer a real threat. There's no second Observer being built right now. But the bio count is super high. His army's still actually ahead of Spatz right now, despite being even on workers. A little surprising, and Spatz grabbing that Robo Bay for those Colossi.
Yeah, Spatz is transitioning out of what he initially did. Yeah. He didn't really find much damage, but he also knows his opponent has put himself slightly behind here by going for that sort of 2-1-1-esque build. The starport was very, very late. There's, of course, no medevacs even on the field yet, with the first 2 just popping at 6:45. And Spatz has complete map control with these stalkers. He should spot on such a short, thin, narrow map. He should spot drops if he's very active with his stalkers. And that's exactly the plan right now for Spatz. He's happy to take his 3rd base quicker than that of his opponent, who's adding in ghosts off of 2 bases. This is going to be interesting because I feel like there's potential for Cuss to do a lot of damage if he just gets ghosts and goes. Adding in that in now, +1 is nearly done, so he'll have an upgrade advantage. Yeah, I quite like what Cuss is doing here, Creighton Olsen.
Got to agree with you, man. Those early ghosts are going to be so effective. Not only will he have protection against those early attacks, but also more energy for later in the game. There's a big difference between a ghost that has energy for an EMP and a ghost that has energy for an EMP and a snipe, or yes. two EMPs even. It was interesting in one of the previous engagements we saw between these 2 players, we saw Cass using all of his ghost energy for snipes on Archons. And initially I was like, oh, I don't know, man. Surely EMP's the better choice. But I kind of like what he did there, sniping those Archons down, just getting him out of the way right away, not having to worry about focus firing him down after that. So Cass has shown us that he really does know a lot about how to use those ghosts. Getting him out early has got to help, but he's going to leave with only 2 ghosts in the army, and he's going to push out.
Yeah, and I like Cuss's force here. He has the upgrade advantage. Is he pulling boys? No. Oh, I would. I'd be all over it right now. He has ghosts in the front here. He's going to catch a couple of his stalkers as well. He does have concussive shells, which means every unit he kills right now is very, very important here. No, Cash, you cannot falter. Okay, actually, yeah. This is smart of Spatz. What Spatz is trying to do is force him to take fights in the middle of the map instead of closer to the bases, and just slow down the push so Spatz can warp in, get those warping cycles closer and closer, and Cass is actually going to fall back. He's going to take his 3rd behind this, but it's so late.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with the decision from Cats. I think if you're going to push, you're going to push, man. Pull the trigger. Make it happen. because he's, as you said, he cut workers earlier. He's finally moving his third base over, but he's behind in workers. Now, his upgrades are fairly, a little bit ahead. He's got the +1 where his opponent doesn't have any upgrades yet, but +1 armor about to finish. And those two upgrades will cancel each other out more or less. This is going to be a fraught. This is going to be a fraught one, Grant. Grant, could you do me a favor and take over observing for a moment, please? I'm going to follow your camera for a moment. Yep. I got to stand up or I'm going to fall asleep here. I've been sitting for too long.
Yeah. We can see here Spatz is continuing to get a lot of Zealots, 5 being warped in at a time. He's adding in Colossus, which is great against this Marauder heavy composition. But EMPs could be absolutely essential here for the Terran player. And if he can hit those big boy EMPs, he does not have enhanced shockwaves, then he's going to be able to take a fight where he absolutely tears through. Now, there is armor upgrade, so the Zealots still stand strong. A couple of Widow Mines, 4 in fact, being added to this force is very nice. We do see, oh my god, the tank's getting such a good fire. Stalkers are going to blink. Tanks are able to do a lot of damage here. Widow Mine's actually doing okay amounts to the Zealots flanking. A Colossus flanking as well, and it looks like Spatz actually finds such a great fight here.
Yeah, those extended thermal lens Colossi coming in from 2 different angles. He's going to be able to clean most of this up. Now, the Blinks back are going to be really good here. And it looks like Cass will be able to clean up at the end of the fight. Man, another one of those 3-phase fights where it was working so well. Where, like, at the beginning it looked really good for Cass, and then it looked really good for Spatz, and then it looked really good for Cass there again at the end. So Cass is going to push across now. Should be able to snipe at least one more Colossus. Another EMP going down.
Yeah, another Colossus going down could be absolutely what this game needs to snowball in the direction of a Terran. He is still up almost double the army supply of his opponent. He has a few Vikings firing. There is a super battery going, but it's very close to running out. Vikings get sniped. That's important here because they were getting 3 damage onto the Colossus. And Cass is still up in army supply, but he's down in workers. Upgrades are going to be still dead even, really across the board. Dark Shrine on the way here. More Ghosts, more Vikings coming in here for Cass. And Fuser, I see you in the chat. Someone banned Fuser. He tried to kill me at Asus. Still angry at you, Fuser.
Wow, called out. 2-2 now on the way for Cass. +3 though coming out. +3 armor coming out from Spatz. Grant, who's ahead right now? It's almost impossible to tell.
Yeah, no, it is only +2 armor coming in.
Oh, +2. I'm sorry. Apologies. I think those Protoss upgrades always throw me for.
They look real similar, yeah.
Okay, +2 armor, which means the upgrade advantage firmly in Cass's favor. Yeah, his army supply ahead. His worker count low though, still just on 3 bases, whereas Spatz is on 4, or just starting 4. Man, this is a really difficult one to call.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty even. No enhanced shockwaves is a bit of a problem here, and Cass needs to get that started pretty soon. He has actually stopped producing ghosts at just a small handful here of only 3, and producing more Marines, Marauders, and adding in a lot of Widow Mines, which I definitely like, because Widow Mines are going to be great against this many Zealots and Archons and things like that. Spatz's army is good, but it's not great. The main thing going for Spatz right now is his economy has been really strong for a while. He is a little bit ahead in that regard. And I think Cass, if he can take... he needs to probably take a pretty convincing fight. How many Vikings? 7. Okay, that's enough to do a lot of damage to the Colossus. I don't think it's enough to one-shot them. Oh, if he catches this Prism...
Uh-oh. Prism is gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Nails it. A great shot. That means no micro here for Spatz. Cass taking a really nice concave here. The EMP's not landing, though. The Vikings under duress from these... the Colossus under duress from the Vikings. The 1 Colossus, 2 Colossus going down. There's simply not enough in Spatz's army here. Cass is gonna run over him.
Purification Nova is dodged, and that is Spatz 1 is this almost exact same fight happened, but the Purification Nova hit. We're seeing a second one come out. Come on, Cass, dodge it. Good dodges again by Cass. Cass has so much. Cass moves forward. Stim is going down. There's no Purification Novas for another 5 or so seconds. We're seeing Warpins come in, but Cass is on top of the production facilities. He's on top of the natural. DT's coming in. Does he have a scan? Oh, EMP. Perfect.
What a pro gamer move. EMP onto the DTs to make them visible. And this is going from bad to worse for Spatz. He's hoping for the magic Purification Nova, but dang, these splits from Cass looking too good. Grant,